Carnales de Calibre 45, ¿cómo están? Y bueno, nos encontramos en un momento muy especial, a punto de entrevistar a una banda con una trayectoria impresionante que se va a estar presentando hoy aquí en el Salón 21. Estoy hablando de Sonic Youth. Lee, first of all, thank you very much for your time with this interview. It's an honor to talk with you. So, the first question, how do you feel here in Mexico, here back in Mexico?
Well, it's really cool that we've been able to come back. You know, we waited so long to come the first time a few years ago, and I think we all really love Mexican culture and the food and everything. So we've been, you know, we're only here a short time this trip, so we're kind of running around and doing some stuff. And we just came from Guadalajara, which was really good.
And now, the last days of 2006, you released this album, The Destroyed Room, B-Sides and Rarities. How do you come with the idea of release this album?
Well, that record, because that was our last record that we were going to do with our record label, because I think our contract is up, and I think within our contract it said, like, hey, you know, you're supposed to release like B-sides and rarities records. You know, oh yeah, we have plenty of B-sides and rarities. We always wanted to use that title and that cover image, The Destroyed Room, by this artist named Jeff Wall, a Canadian artist, and so it gave us sort of impetus to sort of put something together that would fit that artwork.
Well, I guess that when you were choosing the songs for this album, a lot of memories come to your mind.
Maybe.
Well, it's good because I mean, there's some songs that are this sides B's or.
The first thing when we were making this record is like we wanted to make a record with some of the more obscure Sonic Youth B's. I mean, some people know some of these B-sides are these songs here and there, and we do some cover songs. And, you know, a lot of them are sort of like they're made in the nature of like that's where they're going to exist and they're relegated to. And it was weird putting this together because a lot of those songs, it's just sort of like it didn't really sort of add up as a real strong album. But finding these more sort of weird, disparate kind of instrumental pieces and really sort of more outsider kind of material that we would have on B-sides and stuff, it seemed to work better. It had a much more sort of interesting kind of flow to it. And in a way, it was a little more surprising for people, especially after our last record, which was really sort of very song-oriented. It was kind of, it seemed like a good idea to put out a record that was a bit more sort of kind of dealing with a little bit longer, abstracted kind of music.
And now let's talk to the early days of everybody of you. I know that you grew up in Beto. Why did you move up to New York?
I think we moved to New York just to be part of all the exciting stuff that was going on there, especially the music scene at that time in the late 70s. And, you know, we met kind of when each of our first bands were playing in you know, trying to get gigs in New York, playing at CB's. Yeah, playing at CB's, playing at Max, playing like sort of the last days of Max's Kansas City and things like that.
Now, at some point of your career, you toured with Nirvana. What could be the best memory that you have touring with them?
Just you know, mainly just like getting to know those guys and hearing them every night. I mean, the music was incredible, and it was kind of the first time or two that we toured with them. It was before everything exploded for them, so there wasn't a crazy circus around them. It was just like this cool fellow band, you know, peers that were in a band and just admiring what they were doing every night. And it was a very small thing at that point, so it was, you know, it was great.
And now, talking about writing, I know that both of you write in a lot of different ways. I mean, music, poetry, prose. But I guess that when you write so much, at some point you have like a writer mind block. It's hard to deal with that.
Well, you know, writing isn't our main profession, so it's, I mean, I don't know, I don't find that if I'm having a block, it never occurs to me that it's a block. I write when I'm inspired to write, and that's the only time I need to write. You know, it's not like I'm on a deadline for something and don't have any idea for a story or something like that. It's a privilege to be able to write. It's something we do for fun and, you know, for our own enjoyment, first of all. So, I don't know, I don't experience that kind of block like you're talking about, really.
You experience it?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't have too much anxiety about it. I mean, I think that it's basically because I get so preoccupied with other things that I feel like I don't allow myself time to write. But because basically writing is time intensive, you know, and you know, when you do have family and you know, you have other so many other things going on with music, and so it doesn't really allow you to sort of sit down and write. And writing takes a lot of meditation, you know, you sit down and just get into it. So most writers are pretty lonely people.